So as you can see, we're working on the bed again, and I've got some masking tape around the edges of it, and we're gonna see why here in just a second. So with the masking tape around the bed, today we are going to paint the bottom of the bed, and it doesn't have to be as pretty. We're still going to do a primer and then a black coat, top coat. And then the other side of the bed we're going to try and make a little nicer, so it's going to get a clear coat, and we're going to use the Magic Tractor clear coat and hardener. And debating on what clear coat to use, talked back and forth. I spoke to a gentleman from Whitley Auto. He's got a channel, look him up. He's done a really cool thing with like a transitioning color using some pearl and Rust-Oleum as his base coat before he done the pearl and the clear. And he's using automotive clear and Rust-Oleum. So we chose to go with the tractor clear on this, but I'm really impressed with kind of the stuff he's trying to do. So go check his channel out if you haven't already. And today we're going to show you guys our paint setup along with while we paint. So yeah, we'll get started. Okay, so here's our standard hose reel for the shop, and we normally plug it in right here at this outlet. And here's the end of the hose reel, but today we're going to plug it in right here, and I'll give you a good showing of what that is. Dad want to take a minute to pretty it up before I put it on camera. You know, we're going to be using it quite a bit here in the near future anyways. So we've got our stand built right here, but this is Dad's old pressure regulator, and we've also got a water separator here to kind of, and we can drain it out if need be. And so we'll take our end of our hose here, which is way longer than it needs to be right now. Drag it up here. Hard to do one-handed. Anyway, so there's the end of our hose, and then we'll plug it in. Of course, you'll hear it hissing off right now, and we'll set our pressure to whatever we're going to be spraying with. So I'm going to shut that off for now, that way it's not hissing at us. So that is the pressure regulation system, and we're going to be using the same hose we use in the shop the rest of the time. So now we'll look at what guns Dad has that we're going to be using. Dad's gun collection hangs on the wall here beside the paint cabinet. And these are all brand new professional guns, right, Dad?
Yeah, they're probably 35 years old.
What brand name's this one? Or do we even know?
It's aftermarket.
Yeah.
$30 gun.
So we're using some real, you know, high-priced equipment to do this job. Got cobwebs on it. We ain't used it for a little while. So you don't have to have the top shelf stuff to make this happen. And so right now Dad's cleaning out. He actually had some thinner that he kept in the gun while it was stored, just kind of a good practice, and it was still in there when he opened it, so that's pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. And so now we're going to mix up the primer first, and we're going to use the acetone to cut it with. And I'm going to get ready spraying. While he's mixing that up real quick, I'll take you a tour outside of how we got things set up. So out here in the gravel, and we've caught a middle of November day where it's going to be about 60 degrees. We've got roughly a 4-mile-an-hour wind. We got most of our parts hung up there, and Dad's going to hang up those rods there while I get started. And I'm going to start back here on the back side of this thing here. We're going to start laying the primer to it. All that white chalky stuff you see is the crud cutter, and they say that's normal, and just primer over top of that. So that kind of eats the rust and turns it into like a black oxidation layer to and the white chalky stuff in order to put your primer on top of. So that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Okay, so getting ready to spray some black. Dad's setting everything up. We're going to use a different gun, and got my mask, everything good to go. So before I do, I want to show you what we've got so far. The primer is good to go. We got our pieces primered over here. And then the back side of the bed. Primer went on a little slow, covered good though. So I'm really hoping the black goes on a little better, a little quicker. As you can tell by the shadows, we're starting to get a little bit later in the day, so I'm gonna try and have all this done by 5 o'clock. And if I'm gonna do that, I better get a move on. Well, as you've seen, I was losing daylight last night and the sun's back up, so it's the next day. I got a little redness in my cheeks and stuff scrubbing the paint off of them last night. I had eyeshadow on when I got to the house. So, after we painted the black and then I painted the clear coat on the top of it, we moved it back in the garage last night to let it sit in the garage and dry because we put it on a big pallet so we could handle it. And I'll show you guys what we got. So there's the bottom of it. And so here in a minute, I'm about ready to finish things up because I had a mirror sitting out here, but back in behind these bars right here, I couldn't get to them real good with the spray gun. And so, plus the bottoms of these rails here and the tops of them, I kind of done okay, but I'm gonna give them just a little extra whiff with a paintbrush. But the rest of it coated real good. Now what looks really good is the top side. And of course we got the inner fenders painted and the other pieces. But let me show you the top side. I'll get on the other side. That window's messing with the camera lens. Check that out. So, like I said, we sprayed the top here with gloss after we painted the black. So arms was a little sore last night when I got home from swinging a paint can all day. But that being said, I'm gonna get off here and go paint the nooks and crannies, and I think we're gonna try and set this bed down today, and start prepping it for the sides. We'll pull all the tape off of it, and you guys will have to see that in the next video. So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I would appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later.